Hey, welcome back. So we're going to jump right into building your email list and opt-ins. So I want you to really get clear on what an opt-in is. And as you're even thinking about this, part of your deciding factor is recognizing, excuse me, that what are your potential clients like to consume? And your email list, I can't overemphasize this. Your email list is an asset. Your email list is something that you own. Your email list is the thing that you need to be working on every single solitary day. And we talked a little bit about where to build that email list and how you can add on to that. Let's see, it was right. Email list building, different ways to do that. Live talks, be a guest, da, 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 da. But I don't think I can, like I said, overemphasize. This is something that you need to be doing daily because you don't own Facebook. You don't own YouTube. You don't own any of those likes. You don't even own, Instagram, all of that kind of thing. People who are following you, you don't own that. Your job is to create an email list, create something for free for a value so that they are able to opt in, give you their name and email, and then you have an email sequence, which I will talk about in a minute, that is not written in this workbook for you because everybody's a little different. So I'm just going to talk about it. But this is something that you need to do, create multiple opt-ins. If you look at my website, let's see if we can go. Let me open up my website for you. And you will be able to see that I have multiple opt-ins for people. Free resources, okay? And so in other words, here's my Closing the Deal script, which by the way, if you don't have it, you need to have that, but you should have that. Bold Life, Big Profit, Get Booked. 3 ways to find clients and increase your business, fear of judgment. So a couple of things I'm showing you today is how to tie everything together based on your brand, based on your process, your program, your philosophy, your service, that thing. And we talked about that in the previous video, that those words for me are interchangeable. The key here and the goal for you is so that you are never overwhelmed and you never feel like you have a lack of something to offer people because you are brilliant and you have plenty that you can do. So I want you to decide right now in this moment that you are in control of your thinking and your mind and your actions, and that you're making that decision that you will put these into place and sit down and look at, and of course we can do this more. You reach out to me, we will do this more and I can help you. But I'm showing you a methodology that really allows you to be in communication with your potential clients frequently, and then everything leads back to your process, your program, etc. So what is my business about? Creating a big, bold life in biz. So if you look at my opt-in, here's one about closing the deal. Obviously it helps with having a bigger business. The money map, the getting booked, increase your business, fear of judgment, the breakthrough formula, the fear breakthrough formula. And so, using this methodology and using like these formulas, bam. So we're going to talk about that just a little bit more. Okay. So let me give you a couple ideas. Your goal is to help them go from their big problem to what their crazy big dream is. Now, do you see that even doing this, even in this training, I am on brand. I am using the language of my business. In fact, I'm even using the colors of my branding. This green here, and then there's a red that's somewhere on here. And actually this font, I want you to be kind of absorbed even when you're doing workbooks or workshops for your potential clients. I want you to be absorbed in your brand. Now you can see, I'm going to switch back actually to this. You can see this yellow. I'm going to change that to the red. But and you can see here's the red here. But the point is, is, for the most part, everything is on brand. Even what I wear usually when I'm speaking is black, white, or red. So, and you can see this green color right here is the same that's in this workbook that I have. My point with, and this is Dye Dot, and this is Helvetica New. So my point is once you start getting consistent and concise and having everything and where you're literally breathing in your brand and your message, things will come so much more smoothly for you. And I know that I'm trying to just interject a bunch of ideas so that you can see really everything just overlaps. If anything, the goal with this training is that you recognize, actually, this is so easy. It's more about mapping it out and kind of planning it out and getting it organized. And I said that in the previous video, right? Organization. How organized are you? But there is no lack of what you can talk about. I can assure you, I know every single one of you, and you have tons to say. And so one of the things with opt-ins, we're going to get back to that in just a second, but one of the things with my phone, I wanted to show you that there's topics out there all the time for, I'm sorry, I'm looking at Facebook to make sure that this is actually live and recording. That's from yesterday. Let me look and make sure we're officially live. We are live. Show you what I'm actually doing so that you can use that. That's good. So we're live, but remember when I was saying that using Ecamm, I'm only actually showing, you can't see this, but I'm only actually projecting this onto my personal page with me seeing it. And actually, I think it's right here. Oop, no, I don't know what I just did. I just did something. There we go. Okay, back to blogs. Oh, look, I had this blogs up from yesterday because I was adding to it. Here's 25 blog ideas. So I just have I have a couple places that I store these, which is a problem when I'm actually consolidating them. But I have the list on my phone. Procrastination, mindset, money, up-leveling, the next step, narrow your niche, math and money. Oh God, Facebook ads, psychology of a package. You got this. 1, 2, 3, decide. You know, it's like I have several different ideas here. Find a central location. I also have some stuff on my Trello boards and in another program I use called Asana. And, you know, there's just no limit to the amount. Because I was adding to it. There's 25 blog ideas. So I just have I have a couple places that I store these, which is a problem when I'm actually consolidating. Okay, so what happened just in my ear, Facebook popped on to for whatever reason. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back to you. I want you to think about what are some of the opt-ins that you've opted in before. What have you given to somebody your name and your email? What does that look like? Why did you do that? What about their opt-in page or landing page where you landed on their website or you landed on their free resources page or like that somebody landed here? What about that said, oh my God, I'm going to give you my name and email. Like this one I have right here. Finally enjoy sales calls. This very script helped me increase my business 450% in a single year. Okay, look, I get a lot of traffic from that. A lot of business and a lot of clients have come from that. And a lot of people have said, oh my God, I used that sales script and I made money off of it. And I'm like, well, that's fantastic. What wording? So create, in addition to something like this, a list, create a swipe file, what you call, and put it on your computer. A swipe file is where you're going to take an image or you're going to, copy the URL and you're going to put it in your in a file that allows you to examine that. What did you like about it? So for example, if you're a photographer and you see, somebody who's a fantastic photographer and you like, oh, look how they did that. You're going to use that as a reference. No, you're not copying anything, but you're being inspired. Because let me tell you, nothing is new. Nothing, let me say that again. Nothing is new. So if I'm looking at somebody and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't realize you could do blah, blah, blah on Instagram. You know how on some Instagrams, it's really organized. It's like a photo, like a motivational quote, a photo. They have it mapped out. Like, I don't know how they do that, but one of these days, that's what I'm going to work on that. And be inspired by people, right? Be inspired by people. So there's different free reports or different PDFs or different how-tos. There's different videos that you can get. There's mind maps. There's quizzes. There's assessments. There is checklists and tips. So here's a couple. As far as what converts well, mistakes convert higher. So in other words, the three biggest mistakes, you know, your ideal client, the three biggest mistakes women over 40 make when they are trying to lose weight and how to stop. The three biggest mistakes new moms make when they are nursing their children, and how to stop. Something like that. The 10 top mistakes to avoid when you're trying to sell your house so that you actually can make more money. Okay? The other thing too is, you know, there's kind of two ideas about this in marketing. One is to market to the negative, to the pain. Another is to market to the solution or the pleasure. And your client population, as you know, the Big Bold Life in Biz, I'm really marketing to the solution, to the dream, to the ideal. So that's the main umbrella of my brand. So you see my brand, it has actually kind of woven in, like you saw the fear breakthrough formula versus, bold profit money map. Okay. So I kind of use them interchangeably. Right now, actually, I use an Infusionsoft, which and that's my CRM, my customer relationship management for my email list. That's a very robust system, and you probably could never buy it for what I locked in like 5 years ago or whatever it was. At the time, I never needed that. But I mean, now it's paying for itself because all of the things that it has on it, I wouldn't want to spend the hundreds and hundreds of dollars that it costs today. There's several other programs out there for you to use. But anyhow, my point is, they have the option to do split testing, and that's an A/B split testing. Your job is to constantly be monitoring, how are people finding you? What are they opting into? Do you need to change the words? I know that this is tedious, and I know that some of you that are watching this are solopreneurs, or you might have just a small staff. It doesn't matter. You have to do this, and I said this in the other video, for 30, 60, 90 days. Once you have it done and you start seeing like, oh, I'm going to send this email out with this positive, like go for it, subject line. I'm going to see how many people open that. I'm going to then change the subject line and have it negative. And it's the same email, or you tweak that email. Maybe it's the same topic, but you tweak it a little bit and see who's opening what, who's opting into what. Your job is to really be in a state of experimentation until you have it down. And then you have to reassess this at least once a year. You really need to reassess because stuff changes, and you know that, and I know that, right? Okay, so the 5-step process to whatever. The 21-day, get fit challenge, the 21-day have sex every day challenge. There's a woman that had sex every day for like a year, and she like wrote a book on it. It's made millions of dollars. So here's one, the 21-day video challenge, how to get massive exposure on social media by posting 21 days of tips. Learn how to become the go-to expert. Simple, easy system to start today so you don't get overwhelmed, but what you do get is ton of exposure. Sometimes I come up with this stuff and I'm like, that's pretty good. I need to do that. I need to A, do that challenge, and B, create an opt-in to add to my email list so that I'm moving the dog behind me so I can get Chris Pearl's house. So what are some of the opt-ins you've signed up for? And why was it interesting? What was the format in the title? What was the pain that it said it would fix? What was the pleasure? What were the steps? What were the numbers? Why did you feel compelled to enter your name? Did it satisfy you? In other words, when you got it, did it give you the promise that it made? The other thing too is when you create an opt-in, you want to get it, like, people have a win. Sometimes people are like, I'm going to create a big ebook that's like 100 pages long. Like, that is not a win. There's two reasons behind why that is not a good idea. Number one, when you give too much information, why are they going to hire you? Right? Number two is you want someone to have a quick win so that they can see that the steps that you are teaching them and providing them something of value in bite-sized chunks. So in other words, if it's like 10 easy ways to make more money when you sell your house by doing, make more money when selling your house by doing these 10 quick and easy things. Well, if you're selling your house and it said make more money, right, pleasure, by doing these 10 quick and easy things, okay, win, 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 I'd do that. I'm not even planning on selling my house, but I want to know quick and easy. So maybe it's like, get rid of all your photos, make sure that you have fresh baked cookies at the open house. Like, I don't know, whatever it is. What could be for somebody in the weight loss industry, right? Menopause, like how to get better sleep so that you stop yelling at your kid by doing this one thing at night. Okay, I don't know about you, but when I was going through menopause, I guess I'm in menopause, but when I was like in that perimenopause place, I wish somebody would have given me something to talk about good sleep so I wasn't yelling. All right, so it's like, think about that. What are the pain points? So this goes back to when you identified your ideal client. What are 3 different opt-ins that you could create? How do your people like to consume information? Right? Do they like to read it? Do they want to hear it? Do they want to see you? Everybody's different. You need to know. All right, create your opt-in here. Okay, next. I'm going to assume that you really have already done your client exercise and you already know who your client is, but now you're really adding on and we're looking for, where does your perfect client hang out? And to help you think of other places, right? So what associations or organizations do they belong to? Your job is to find a lot of them. Look, I do not want you doing a lot of coffee dates. Oh my God, it's so exhausting. If you want to do a coffee date, this is what I want you to do instead. Either, set them up back to back at your local Starbucks, like at 10, 11, 12, 1, and tell people, I'm really looking forward to, I have Coffee Friday once a month. It's the first Friday of the month, and that's when I get to meet everybody. I have available either 11 or 1. And that way they know, like, you got 1 hour, boom, you're in and out, and you're spending the day. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is just sit at home right now with your Zoom camera. Or use Facebook video. Do you realize that within Messenger, you can do a phone call or you could do video and have a conversation that quick and easy. You don't even have to have Zoom or anything else. Or, you definitely don't have to use FaceTime or anything like that. You can actually do, let me see if I can bring that up for you because I use this with clients sometimes. Okay. So, for example, new message, and I guess here I have all these people's names and maybe I don't really want to do that. Let's just go here, new message. Let me look at John. So if I was going to do my husband John, right up here in this corner, right here, you could start a video or I could call him. I don't want to do that actually because I don't want this video to stop what it's doing. So do you see how easy that is? There's no reason that you can't actually engage with people quickly and easily without actually meeting them in person. Okay. So what social medias are they? Are they in Facebook groups, or do they go to live and in-person groups? Do they attend classes? What online? Where do they network? Okay. What fairs, trade shows, summits do they listen to? What podcasts are they listening to? Why don't you get on that podcast? So I want you to think right now of 10 places that you could start looking today. Let me give you some other personal examples. Okay. So as you know, I do a lot of my, find my clients, if you will, by doing speaking gigs And let me tell you, actually the last several clients that I have had have either been from speaking gig or they've heard me on a podcast. Okay. Yeah. It's like, I haven't just run into anybody, right? It's not even, and I haven't, quote, found a new client just by networking locally, which also is a big thing where I'm just like, I have those moments where I want to network locally because I'm or behind my computer so often. Oh, and then I think, why do I do that? I don't want to go have coffee dates. I don't like doing that. I don't like doing that. So, now I did recently join a philanthropic group. And the purpose of that is because, I'm at a place in my life where, I make the kind of money I can give to the charities that I want to, but also it's because it's got a lot of really great women in it. And I know eventually that it will lead to something with business, and I pay for it actually out of my business account, FYI. So where can you start looking? So I just got another speaking opportunity yesterday. And I don't know when you're listening to this training, so for all I know, it's already happened by the time you listen to this. But 3,200 people, 3,200 were there at this conference last year. So I don't know how many people are going to be there this year, and I'm pretty excited because the most I've ever spoken in front of is a little over 600. Out of that event, I've gotten several businesses, organizations that I'm in talks with as far as building out a mentorship and leadership program. And I think I mentioned that in the email yesterday. Okay, so why not ask your current clients where they hang out? Remember remember in the previous video, we were talking about how to find other clients. Well, ask your current clients, right? Or ask your past clients. So ask these people, why not ask your current clients or people you believe would be the perfect client? Ask them, hey, Sally, you know what? You're my perfect ideal client. And since I'm growing my business or expanding my business or adding on to my business, whatever your language is, I want to find more people just like you. And as a reminder, maybe describe your perfect client. You're sharp. You are a go-getter. I can tell that you've got a ton of skills. To be honest, it'd be fun and easy to work with you because I think you only need just a few little tweaks to help you just hit that next level. That's what I might say. So saying all that, Sally, would you share, where do you hang out? Are you a part of any specific groups or organizations or associations? Because you know what? I would love to be able to maybe go speak there. So can you see how this is really simple? And you're being direct, you're being brave, you're being bold. And what have we talked about before is the number one thing that you need to do more of. Actually, there's two things, but the number one thing that you need to do is ask for what you want. Being bold, brave, outgoing leader, deciding what you want and going for it. Deciding you want to make more money, deciding you want to have more time. It's making that decision. And what happens when you make that decision, your prefrontal cortex now will be scanning to help you hit that goal. You've decided on what the goal is, and now your subconscious mind is going to be working, scanning for these opportunities. And when these opportunities arise, you need to ask. And then you also need to create opportunities. This is why I am teaching you all of these templates and all of these things to do, because in this moment right now, I want you to decide that you are committed to your big, bold goal. What is that? Reaffirm that with yourself. Put it right up on your computer screen. Say it every day and be in that place of becoming that person, right? This is not that fake it till you make it BS. I don't believe in fake it till you make it. You're not being fake when you are embodying the person you want to be who's accomplished that goal. I love this stuff, man. It's really cool. I've added a bunch of stuff to my new talk called Shake Feeling Like a Fake Fraud or Imposter, how to overcome self-doubt and have everything that you want in your life. Okay. So anyhow, I'm on a roll with that. All right. Where's your perfect ideal client research, right? There's 7 billion people. Have you broken down your big goals? God, I was just talking about that. You know, do you need some help? Go to that Bold Life Big Profit on my resources page. Hello. Okay, so this is what's so exciting. I'm so excited for you because I want you to just like, bam, just like, go for it. Like, this is so ridiculous. Once I really got that speaking in front of these associations with all these women and all these CEOs and all this corporate stuff and all these businesses, I mean, it's so awesome. It's not just the local networking groups with like business women. And I do that. And, you know, I'm always strategic and I want you to be strategic too when you're booking yourself for local gigs is that also I'm like right now. So today is Friday. So later today or tomorrow, I'm going to be getting up early, back into getting up at 5 a.m. because I have these big goals right now and I'm going for it. And right now it's fall, so school is in session. I'm very organized and routine. Anyhow, I plan on looking for, you know, a speaking gig in Hawaii because, hello, I'm going to Hawaii. And why wouldn't I want to write that off? I've talked about this a couple of times. Where's your family live? When I went to Maryland in the summer, I wrote that trip off because my family lives there, but also I was doing a speaking gig there. Okay. Anyhow, where can you speak? So many people are like, I don't know where to speak. Here's some resources right here to get you started. This is so cool. Let me switch over so that you can see this. I pulled one of these links up for you so that you could see. Look at all of these associations. Holy crap. Travel bureaus, you know, all these search for a company, research an industry, find an association. Here's another link that I gave you is all the U.S. societies and associations. So you might be like, oh my God, that seems like so much. Are you kidding me? This is fantastic. Like, God, I wonder how many there are. There's probably like thousands and thousands or something on here. Look at this. If I were a naturopath and I wanted to talk about allergies. Here is the American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology. I would go to that organization and I would find out when they're having a conference. Let me walk you through this right now. This is very random. I only just did this, so I hope they have a conference. I'm putting conference up in the search bar. There's the annual meeting. There's the, oh, look at this, the Aspen Allergy Conference. Aspen people, Aspen. Maybe it's in the, you know, when you could go, okay. There it is. It's past, but 36th Annual Aspen Allergy Conference. So that was in 2018, and whenever you're watching this, I don't know, maybe it's 2019, 2020. I don't know. Whenever you're watching this, but my point is, look at this. So I would go to that, research that conference a little bit. I don't want to get sidebarred into teaching all about how to get a speaking gig because that would be easy for me to do. But I'm just going to give you one quick tip because I know you're probably like, well, that's great. I can go speak. Here's different associations. Like, here's how you do it. You do, quote, call for, you can already see, look at that. I had this already up here because that's what I do. I'm looking at stuff. Call for speakers. Call for speakers. All right, and then do a plus, and let's just say back to that allergy. To give you a simple, here you go. Call for speakers. Oh, it is that same one. All right, the Association of PAs for Allergy thing. There you go. Call for speakers. This is past 2016, but still, FabCon, whatever that is. She found, you know, there's an open call for speakers for the, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Can you see how easy it is? Stop making it so hard. Let's change this so you can see. So for call for speakers, photographers. And so you can see this actually says also call for papers. They do that too. It's either call for papers, call for speakers, or call for presentations. Here you go. Call for speakers. The ophthalmic. Okay, look, I have a little stuttering problem. I don't know if you've ever noticed. I'm very conscious of it. So there's certain things I didn't say in a certain way. Anyhow, here you go. Call for Speakers, Society of Sport and Event Photographers. Oh my God. It's like, how cool is this? Can you get excited? Let's think of 2 more. Realtors. real estate agents. Let's see if there's something like that. Call for speakers, real estate agents. Big Speak Motivational Speaker Bureau for real estate events. Here you go. Event speaker submission. I mean, I could just go on and on with this. Motivational speaker for real estate agents. I could just go on and on for this. Okay, so that was that. I could go on and on because it's so cool how easy it is to find things. So back to you. And, look up different associations. Where are they? List out 10 right now that you're going to go see and go visit them. See whether your ideal client is there or not, right? How easy is that? I hope that you can get excited about recognizing that it's not about, how am I going to find my next client? It's more like, how do I weed through all the potential clients and really find the key ones that are fabulous? Because I know that you can help a lot of people, but when you really get clear on your favorite type of clients, which I know you are one, because you rock, because you're ready to be bolder in your life, and that's why you're listening to this. But when there's millions and billions of people. So your opportunity to have your ideal clients is right there. It's you doing the work to research them. Okay. So networking, your elevator or hot hook or intro grabber. Okay. So you've done your research. Your goal is to, write it on a 3x5 if you need to. Your first impression is critical. This is where the pressure can come in a little. Care enough to be prepared. So, what does that look like? And I do have a hot hook, I think, down here, right? Yeah. How to tell someone what your biz is. But the key here is be prepared. I think so often we don't know what to say exactly, but we rush in. I want you to spend a little time actually thinking about what it is that you want to do with your clients and on a deeper level, and get yourself prepared. In other words, also when you are out networking, first impressions are everything. And although I'm a big believer, I'm trying not to contradict myself here with saying you can't say the wrong thing to the right person or the right thing to the wrong person. That's true. But also prepare enough to care about if you had that right person in front of you, that you're showing up and participating and looking the part and all of that kind of stuff. And the part for you might be that it's yoga pants. The part might be for you is that it's jeans. Like right now I've got a sweater on, I got jeans on. And most of you, half of you, I want to say, who have met me, have seen me like in full business clothing. And the other half have only ever heard my voice. And maybe you saw me from the neck up. And, then I always have maybe something cute on. Right now for you, for this video, I'm just a casual. I've got this really cool sweater, this nice, easy sweater. But first impression, if you saw me the very first time and, what didn't look pulled together, it'd be hard for you to be like, let me give this woman thousands of dollars. So what do you look like? Are you on brand? Are you pulled together? I think I even said to you when I speak, and let's go back to that. When I speak live, I am typically in clothing that's on brand for me. Okay? Here you go. Here's 3 different black and white outfits. Here I am in a black and white outfit here. Okay. Why? Just because it feels right to be on brand. That's just, think about that. Now, I'm not saying you have to go out and buy a new wardrobe, but if you are, if your ideal client is looking at you as somebody who's like in flip-flops all day, then that's on brand for you, right? So just be consistent. How are you arriving when you're networking or when you're showing up anywhere? I always get somewhere early, always. For example, if I am going to go to a networking event or I'm going to a meeting or I'm going to speak, you bet I'm showing up early, because if I'm speaking, number one, and again, I don't want to go off on this speaking training. If I'm speaking, I'm working that room. In other words, I'm going around and I'm shaking hands. Hey, how are you? I'm the speaker today, and people are usually like, oh, I'm really interested in hearing about shaking, feeling like a fake. Or, if I'm doing the Big Bold Life and Biz Plans talk, they're like, yeah, I really want to understand more about being bold. Or if they don't say anything, I'll say, what is it that you want to hear today? What is it that you came here to learn today? I'm asking them because I'm working that room because I want to have engagement. The same thing if I'm networking. If I'm going out, like I said, which is super rare, although we did talk about in this video and the last video about omnipresence, being everywhere at first. So right now, my business is in a super growth phase again. It's hitting another level. Woo! So I'm kind of showing up. I'm testing the market. I'm looking at local places. I'm feeling things out because I don't know where it's going to lead. So I'm truly just going in with open to potentiality and possibilities. But I'm walking in. I'm early. I'm like scanning. And if I want to, I have to tell you, recently I went to a networking thing and I left early. I mean, after we went around and we said hey, I'm Mary Bicknell and blah, 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 whatever. Once that was done, I was out of there. Why? Because I had assessed that room and I had assessed that this is a waste of my time. Waste of my time. So I left. Well, I'm not going to stand around for another hour yakking with a bunch of people that are not going to be my ideal client or don't, how can I say it? Don't appear to have the kind of contacts or the connections that I would make with them. So trust your gut, Also, have you gotten centered? Have you rehearsed what you're going to say? Did you rehearse and get into the energy of what it is, right? I think I've told some of you, some of the things I've said, but here we go. How to tell someone what your business is. The goal here is to get engagement. It's that back and forth. To have the person that you're talking with understand what you do, want to know more or not, right? Self-select in or self-select out. You're also planting a seed, right? So here's just a couple intro grabbers. What to say when someone asks you what you do. Use help. I help women biz owners get out of being stuck so they can feel more confident, make more money, and have more time so they actually can hit the next level of success in their life and business. That's wordy, right? Or I help women design their lifestyle first and then build a biz around it. We live in a world today where there's no reason why a woman isn't making as much money as she wants and having all the free time she desires. Now, once you kind of get this intro grabber, again, it's recycle, repurpose, reuse. This is all reusing. Once you start just getting this stuff, then this little blurb is going to go into your email responder, right? When somebody opts in, they're going to get the little thank you, value, add, whatever it is, ebook, video, test. And then part of your email sequence, part of your sales funnel, part of your value add, part of the engagement process is to say, hey, you might not know me. I'm Mary Bicknell. Maybe you found me online. Maybe you heard me speak. But just so you know a little bit more about the type of person that I really work well with or the type of person I help. Boom, I could say, I help women biz owners, or whatever it is because that little intro grabber is not what I use today. You know what I said the other day in that event that I left? I said something like, I work with bold, badass women to create the badass life that they want. I never say stuff like badass. I don't know where that came from, but it was just I was in a moment where I was the last of 40 people who all had the same thing that they were saying. Hi, I'm Sally. I help people, blah, blah, blah. It was so boring. I cannot really literally tell you what they did. Okay. This is a good way to do it, really. Sally, what I like to do, the easiest way for me to tell you what I do is to tell you who my perfect client is. I look for women who are already go-getters and who want the next level of their life in their business and who really want to be brave and bold enough to go for it. That's what I would say my perfect client is. Excuse me. But can you see when you say that, Sally, the easiest way for me to tell you what I do is to tell you who my perfect client is. It allows the brain, right? The brain is going to be listening. Oh, she's providing information, who her perfect client is. Now your brain, that person's brain is going to be scanning. Is this me? Or if you're giving people bullet points, the brain is looking at that as information and it's going to be thinking, who do I know? Who do I know? Right? Another thing is you could say, You could say, let me ask you a question. Sally, let me ask you, do you know anyone who, feels 25 pounds overweight and she's over 40 and she's getting in that perimenopause? And she's going to say yes or no or whatever. Of course, you can tweak these depending on your environment, right? And where you are. I'm not necessarily going to say something like, say that if I'm in a certain group. You got to read the crowd a little bit. But you want to engage. You want to say something. You want to do different. So let me tell you. So back to that the other day saying I work with bold ass women or big, bold women who want to be badasses or whatever. Like 3 people later, she's like, I work with badasses, And I was like, nobody else said that in the whole room except me. And got engagement though, right? It hooked her. You want to say and do things differently. You don't want to leave her blank out in boredom. Hi, I'm Sally Smith. I'm a financial advisor. Nobody knows what that is. Nobody cares. Hi, I'm Sally Smith. I'm a photographer. No. Hey, I'm Sally Smith and I take pictures of people so that they are fascinated with what they look like. Or I take pictures of people and, they can't stop showing them off. Hi, I take pictures of women so that they can really see, maybe for the very first time, how gorgeous and amazing they are. Wouldn't you go for that? Wouldn't you say, oh, I want her to take my picture, right? Hey, I'm Sally Smith and I'm a realtor in Los Angeles and I like to help people find that celebrity house without paying that celebrity price or something fun. Be playful. So here it is. I'm Susie Smith. Look how I said Sally Smith. I'm a financial broker and I make sure people have enough money for retirement. Ugh. What about this? Who do you know who's up at night thinking, oh my God, maybe I should start smoking. I'm so healthy. I wonder if I'm going to outlive my money. Right? Or say something that's whatever. Hi, I'm Mary Bignell and I'm a biz coach. Or hi, I'm Mary Bignell. I help businesswomen make a shit ton of money in less time. I could have said that the other day. So, stand out. Don't be vanilla. Don't play it safe. Go for it. Why not? Right? I mean, some people are like, I can't believe she said shit tons of money. And other people are like, oh, what do you mean making shit tons of money? Right? The number one way to maintain communication with your clients and prospects is through your email or your newsletter or whatever you want to call it. So how often are you emailing now? What's the industry standard that you have? How does that feel for you? When I say to people, you need to be emailing at least 1 time a week, they're all like, I'd say do it twice a week. Right? So what if people opt out? If they unsubscribe to your email list, let them unsubscribe. You only want people who are there that want to hear what you have to say. Now, funny enough, I know that I have had clients who are like, oh my God, I get too many emails. Well, and that's actually because they've opted in to some of the other resources. And now they're in the sales funnel. Actually, that's one of the things I want to change. Like if you're registered as current client, there's 2 things. One, if you're registered as a current client or tagged as a current client, I want you not to go through those sales funnels because I'm clearly saying like, get on the phone with me. On the other hand, I want you to be a student of the process and I want you to see what those emails say. So I think I'm going to keep it like that. How do you feel when people opt out? I don't know about you, but in the beginning of my business, when people would unsubscribe or opt out of my email list, I was like crushed. Like, who are they? And I would look them up on Facebook and be like, why didn't that Sally want my stuff? But you know what? Bye, Sally. A lot of times I would look at it and be like, oh, well, clearly she's not my ideal client. Okay. Now we're getting into the big juicy stuff. So if you need to take a break because you're not going to want to interrupt this part of the process. So this is the juice right here. This goes to how to stay engaged for a year. I'm going to teach you how to actually come up with engagement that will last a year long. Okay? So here's the simple system for being organized with your client communication. It starts with your product. All right. So it goes back to, it starts with your product, your program, your process. right now, if you have not done the Big Bold Life and Biz product, and actually I think it's on here. One and done. Let me look. I'm going to scan through here. It's in here. It's in here. If you've not done your whole, okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually stop. I'm going to create a third video for you. This is number 2. We're going to end here because I want to allow you to have this fresh and not have to, go through and listen and figure out we're halfway through or what have you, 45 minutes in. Okay. So I'm going to stop this and I will create a new video in just a minute.